Hello guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Kaspa mining, kind of like a little update, and kind of the stuff that I see in the future happening for Kaspa mining, and some of the problems that we will probably face as miners for Kaspa mining at some point. So just a quick update on the price. As you can see here from a year chart, Kaspa hasn't really done necessarily too well year to date. It's only up, I would say, around 3 cents on the year-to-year chart overall. Obviously, it has had these peaks, 17, 20, and 18 up here. And then it did have a little peak up past 15 cents quite recently, whilst Bitcoin was dropping off a little bit. So it has had chances to keep going, and obviously people are talking about Binance listing it. There has been a lot of theories on Binance listing Kaspa coin within the next month or so. Personally, when it was at around number 30 on the list, I thought it was about too big to not list it on either a Binance or a Coinbase. But I also think that they're waiting until they have a lot of profitability there in the margins, because they have to get Kaspa from somewhere and it's not through any pre-allocations. So they have to buy it spot, which means they're buying it from spot somewhere. And a lot of people are speculating on the Explorer when you see on top addresses here. I believe a lot of people are speculating that one of these wallets is one of the Binance wallets that are accumulating a lot of Kaspa coin. I can't remember which one it is, but one of them is accumulating a lot of Kaspa coin in the last week. I don't think we can sort it from there. I don't think it's this one either. But you can see there are wallets accumulating a lot of Kaspa coin, buying it off other exchanges. So it does call into question who's buying it off a multitude of exchanges like Gate.io, MEXC, BitGet, and stuff like that. And there's only about 3 culprits that it could be: either, somebody who has a lot of money to burn, or it could be either Coinbase or Binance. So hopefully that does come in, and that actually ups the price past an all-time high that we haven't seen for a while. So 20 cents was the all-time high, and that was around 6 months ago. So hopefully, as we're going into this bull run, there's a new all-time high, and that should be good for us Kaspa miners out there. Currently, when we're looking at the chart of Kaspa miners that we can use to mine, a lot of them are not profitable anymore. So this is at 10 cents per kilowatt hour, and only 3 to 4, I wouldn't really necessarily call that profitable. Let's just say 3 miners are actually profitable, one of them making $1 a day, and the other 2 are making $5 a day, with pretty bad payback times. So this KS5 is only mining around 1 block a day, and this is mining around 1.5 blocks a day if you were to solo mine. So it's not great, seeming that in the past we had mega profitability from Kaspa miners. As time goes on, obviously a lot more hash rate is hitting the network, so it becomes way more unprofitable. And we're soon approaching kind of Bitcoin miners profitability with ASICs from Bitmain. So let's just say the S21 is making nearly around that per day as well. So we're fast approaching that, and the emission schedule is also fast approaching the percentage mined through Bitcoin. So I think 97% is mined on Bitcoin, and we're at around 88% on Kaspa coin, with a next reduction is going to be obviously within the month. But let's just scroll this forward and you can see how the next reduction takes place. So within the year, we are going to be, I believe, down here. So with the monthly reduction, it doesn't really call in that supply shock, and I think that's one of the reasons that the price is so up and down all the time, and it takes dips off, because it's not on that 4-year cycle where supply shock does hit at some point. It's more of a monthly reduction. People are less profitable. They sell out because they're less profitable to cover certain costs. And that's just how it goes. But at some point, and we hope this as miners, it actually takes off to the point where it can sustain a lot more profitability in mining. So within the next 2 years, if we go here, it was 34, which is going to be around here. The next 2 years, 2027, the block reward's only going to be 17 Kaspa coin. As we've stated in a lot of other videos, the price has to double every time that the rewards are slashed in half to keep the same profitability, and that's only with the hash rate staying the same. So the hash rate has to stay the same, price doubles, rewards drop off by half. But if you want to keep up with the hash rate, let's say the hash rate doubles within the year, the price actually has to quadruple to keep up with the rewards and the network hash rate hitting it, increasing the difficulty. One thing that we do see that can kind of supplement miners at the moment is the KRC20 tokens. As they come and roll out, there's going to be more fees that can be collected by miners, but I don't think we should necessarily lean on them to have profitability through the KRC20 tokens, because at some point I think that they'll start fading away. And eventually when smart contracts come in, there'll be fees on that we can collect as well. It just kind of depends on how much the fees are at the time, because Kaspa is a very, very efficient network, so the fees aren't going to be too much on smart contracts. However, that kind of makes miners less profitable as well, which kind of works in an inverse way. Even with Bitcoin, the fees are very high if there's a lot of transactions going through the network, which miners can actually take advantage of at the same time. And we even saw it with coins like Ethereum, where miners were collecting a lot of fees from the Ethereum network because the gas fees were so high. But as I said, KRC20 does definitely help with Kaspa miners. It just supplements it a little bit. It doesn't do massively in terms of the block reward, but it does add a little bit on. And as we go down that reduction that we're seeing here, anything that is added on helps to keep miners more profitable on the network. Because what you don't want is miners dropping off the network, which makes more miners drop off the network because it becomes less and less profitable, which could happen at a certain rewards. So if Kaspa's price doesn't take off, the hash rate will drop to the point where it is profitable, and it will equalize out at that hash rate or that rewards. And judging on the fact it reduces every month, you should technically see if the price doesn't take off. Now that is a very big if, but if it doesn't, you should see a drop off every month of the hash rate to equalize out to the rewards. So it could be like a death spiral where the price isn't catching up, and that basically sends it all the way down because nobody wants to secure the network because it's not profitable anymore. As sad as it is, nobody really wants to secure the network for free. So you want to encourage people to mine through a profitable network. As you can see here on ASIC miner value, you can actually see the profitability tracked. So the best time was obviously back in February, which is around $200 per day, and it's just gone down, down, down past that. One thing I want to note, this is KRC20's first launch here, and then it actually launches back here, which is a smaller spike, but still takes you up to the profitabilities of around, let's just say, 4 months before. But it does dip off very quickly. You can kind of see that in the transactions. So in theory, more transactions means more fees on the network, which means the miners will collect more fees. But the transactions have been dropping off as well. As you can see in November, massive amount of transactions, and then a spike up for a massive amount of transactions, and then it drops off very quickly. I don't have any data going back further than that, but I'm sure it's a slow decline downwards, and that kind of tracks with what we're seeing here. So less profitability as time goes on, 2 spikes there, one for October and then one for the end of October. And let's actually bring it into 3 months. So you can see it's actually unprofitable at some times at 15 cents per kilowatt hour to run a KS5 Pro. So it was unprofitable through January 9th to the 13th at 15 cents per kilowatt hour. We can actually lower this. So you're only profitable if you had 13 cents per kilowatt hour or below, which not a lot of people have around the world necessarily. So I'm making this video mainly to raise awareness that kind of the price of Kaspa coin, if it doesn't continue to pick up, there is going to become either a massive overcrowding of hash rate on the network, which will reduce rewards, which will take hash rate off the network, or the rewards or reduction on the network, so the emission schedule, is actually going to kick off miners as well as it becomes way less profitable, and only the people with the lowest power rate are actually going to be able to mine Kaspa coin anymore, which makes the network less secure because less people are actually mining the coin. Now, it's not to say that Kaspa can't go up in price or anything like that. I just think that there needs to be some awareness that if you're getting into Kaspa coin mining, now is probably not the best time to do that. Your best time was probably like a year ago because the profitability was so good at that point, but the reduction and the hash rate increasing, even though the price is still not necessarily doing great. As you can see here, the hash rate is still increasing while the price is dipping off. which means at some point it is going to become unprofitable if that hash rate keeps increasing. One thing that I do want to mention is that Bitmain and Ice River haven't necessarily released any new Kaspa miners because I think they're aware of the fact that if the hash rate keeps adding on to the network, these will become very unprofitable very quickly and they'll have to release new miners to make it profitable. But that's just a cat and mouse game between the price, network hash rate, and the emission schedule that's happening for Kaspa coin. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you're mining Kaspa coin, how you see this playing out in the future, what miners you're actually mining with, because right now it only looks like 3 of them are actually profitable. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like the video and subscribe for more content like this.